Think that this is a wonderful piece of history if you really think about this. This is World War II crochet. That is exactly what this is we did Titanic crochet. This is World War II crochet. This is struggle crochet. And I absolutely adore the history. I really do. I love that we use sewing thread, even though, again, it was a pain in the butt. I do respect it deeply. Hello, welcome to Just Vintage Crochet. These patterns were put together for me by my son, and so I don't know what they are. And he has removed the photos, the titles, and blacked out anything that could give away what the pattern is. So if it says hat, scarf, doll, shoe, whatever the case may be, I don't know. We can usually guess halfway through the video, but at the end I will uncover what the pattern is. And if there's a photo, these don't all have images. These antique patterns from the Victorian era don't always have images, but if they do, I show that off as well. Okay, now let's pick a pattern. Just 3, so I'm just gonna grab one. There we go. And it is number 2. Number 2. This says materials 2 reels of machine twist. Let me get my glasses. Where's my glasses? Okay, well, I don't have them near me. Or any mercerized sewing cotton 36 to 40. Okay. Use double by taking a thread from each reel, a fine steel crochet hook, ribbon for we don't know what, and facings, 2 buttons and 2 lengths of elastic. Blank fits a 33 to 35 inch blank. Oh, hey, he said these are not doilies. All right, let me get some material. Okay, so as far as this pattern goes, number 1, I think it's a UK stitch term. Just the spelling of the word center and the fact that they are saying miss stitches instead of skip stitches. By 1945 in the US, we were definitely using the term skip. Also, it's calling for any mercerized sewing cotton, size 36 to 40. Well, I looked it up, and the equivalent, it says, I'm looking at the Google machine here, and it says a size 80 crochet cotton thread is approximately equivalent to size 36-40 sewing thread. So I happen to have a box of Corticelli mercerized coordinate size 80. This came from the 1910s. I have 2 boxes of it. Back in the day, this would have been in the store, and you can buy 1 or 2 at a time or the whole box. I have 2 boxes of this, so I have more than enough. And it says to work the strands together. It says that we need a ribbon, facings. I'm not sure what facings are. I'm going to have to look that up too. I'm not a sewer. I'm a crocheter, you know. 2 buttons and 2 lengths of elastic. I don't have any elastic at all. All right. Either way, we're going to make this, whatever this is. All right. Let's just get started. It says to work these 2 together. First, I need to play with these and see what size crochet hook works for me, because it doesn't specifically say. It just says a fine steel crochet hook. So I've got to work with this a little bit and see which size hook will work for me. Current setup. That's how it's working. Okay, so here I have my 150 chains, and I did settle with a 1mm steel crochet hook, and looks like that. So now it says that we need to work a single crochet. Okay, I'm going to translate all of this into modern US terms. This is a British pattern. So in England, in the UK and Australia and other parts of the world, a double crochet is the same as a US single crochet. And for them, a treble crochet is the same as a US double crochet here in the US. Okay, and their stitch terms existed way before ours did. Okay, so it does want us to work a single crochet in the 8th chain from the hook, then chain 5, miss 2 chains, and 1 single crochet in the next. Repeat from here until you have 30 loops Leave remainder of chain hanging and then turn. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this in the back bumps where I prefer to work. Eyes, don't fail me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right where my little gnarl right there is. Okay. Should I yarn under? Typically, my whole life I was a yarn under crocheter, and I never even knew that there was a difference because I never did amigurumi or anything like that. And if you start your crochet life off doing amigurumi, you know precisely why there's a difference between yarn under and yarn over. Here we go, chain 5. I just always did it because it just felt natural to do it. I was never instructed otherwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, so in the 3rd chain over. And I learned how to crochet when I was 9. And I just was never monitored that much once I got the basic stitches down. And I just always was a yarn under crocheter for everything. Double crochets, everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Split the 2 strands. 4 and 5. And it wasn't until I got on YouTube and people were asking me in the comments, and very fairly, why do you yarn under? I thought that was such a peculiar question because I didn't even know what yarn under and yarn over was. I didn't even know. To me, I was just crocheting, and I made a poncho and it was a little too small for me. And someone said, well, maybe make it again, but without yarning under, because yarn under stitches are a little bit lower profile. They're slightly a little bit tighter. And I'm like, oh my God, that is a thing. Yarning under and yarning over is a thing. And so I YouTubed it. What's the difference between yarn under and yarn over in crochet? And predominantly amigurumi videos came up and people teaching amigurumi and trying to explain the difference. I never even ever knew until like 40 years old. So I yarn under. It's just natural for me. I crochet faster when I yarn under, although not in this instance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because this is such tiny, teeny, weeny work. I think once I get off the chain, it'll be less slow and fiddly. But yeah, I'm a yarn underer. It's just where I'm most comfortable. Ooh, these little threads splitting is going to be, it's going to be a little bit of a hindrance, I think, if it keeps up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4 or 5? Ooh, my eyes are bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You guys can see what I'm doing better than I can because it's magnified under the camera. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull my hands out from under this camera and get a little closer to my face and finish the rest of this. I've got to make 30 total loops, and at this point I'm working at a snail's pace. So I'll be right back. There we are now. That is 30 loops made, kind of in a spiral there. Here we go. And now it wants us to turn, chain 5, 1 single crochet in next loop, repeat to end 30 loops, work another row the same. So maintain 30 loops, keep doing the same. This should be faster now that I'm off the chain. And then work another row exactly the same way. Okay. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into this loop, I'm assuming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work this all the way to the end. And then I'm going to work another row and be back, since it's just 2 rows of basically the same. So there's that. I'll be right back. Okay, so now a total of 3 rows of this are done. And it says here, 4th row, chain 5, work 15 loops. Work 2 loops in the next loop as increase. Work straight to end. 6 chains, turn, miss first loop at beginning of next row. Work to end as above before. Wait, I don't know why I added the word above. Work to end as before. Increase again at center on next 2 alternate rows. At same time, still decreasing at beginning of every row by missing 1 loop as before. 3 increases in all. Make a few more if fuller shape is required. Make a few more if fuller shape is required. Is it a hat? No. Fits a 33 to 35 inch, not head. Nobody's head is 33 to 35 inches. Still a mystery. Okay, so I have a lot of homework to do, but we will play around with this together. It says to make 3 total increases in all. So when it says work to end as before, does that mean the 4th row or no increase? Then the next row increase because it says alternate. Then the next row no increase, then the next row increase. And that gives me 3 in all. I think that's the game plan here. So this is going to be our first increase row, and we are meant to start with 5 chains. Yes, we are still meant to start with 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to work 15 loops across, and I'll be right back. Okay, that's 15 loops worked. So now in the next loop over, so the 16th loop, I need to work an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then into the same loop. Single crochet. So there's the increase. So now I will just work 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just go ahead and work these the rest of the way. And then the next row, I'm going to work with no increases. And then the next row after that, let's see, where's my increase? There it is. And then the next row after that, I work an increase, then no, and then an increase. And that should give me 3 total increases. So I will be right back. Yeah, that's right. This next round up, so now I'm ready to work the next round. We have to start with a chain 6 this time. And it said to skip the first loop, so jump over the first loop. And this is what they are calling a decrease. So it wants us to decrease while also increasing. What the heck? It wants us to work decreasing and increase, decrease the sides, but increase the middle. Are we sure this isn't a hat? Okay, so that's how I guess you work your decrease on the side. And I'm going to go ahead and work that all the way across with no increase in the middle. But the next row, I will work an increase. Now, am I supposed to decrease that too? Yeah, decreasing at the beginning of every row, but increasing only every other row. Okay. I don't know that we've ever worked a pattern like this before. Maybe we have. All right, well, here is where I'm at now. I have my 1, 2, 3 increases. I had to kind of offset them a little bit. Now it says, now decrease at center of every alternate row by omitting the 5 chain between the 2 middle loops. 2 middle loops and then the 5 chain here. So I guess just chain 5 and skip right over it, I'm guessing. Continue thus until all stitches are worked off. Fasten off. Work second half to correspond. Is this a bag? But if it's a bag, why does it say fuller shape and fits a 33 to 35 inch what? Leg? No. Corresponding, maybe it's those knee things again? That doesn't make any sense because how on earth would this be warm? Okay, round each half, starting at outer edge, work 6 trebles, so 6 double crochet and 1 single crochet in each loop all around top edge. So, okay, let's go. We'll work this, I'll work this first decrease with you. Now, I ended on a row of no increase. So after I worked my last increase, which is right here, I went ahead and worked over another row over the top of that increase. I don't know if I was supposed to, but it made sense to do it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, skipping over my first loop, and I will come back whenever it's time to decrease. We'll see what that looks like. All right, I've made my way to the center stitch here. I need to skip this one right here. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then skip this whole chain. That leaves quite a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, it might all make sense at the end, right? Trust the process. Trust the process. Always trust the process. Every time I've questioned the process, I wound up just kicking myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for not trusting the process to begin with. Now there's some times whenever we have errors in patterns, but for the most part, no, it's just all comes down to trusting the process. All right, so I'm going to do this over and over again until there are no stitches left on my hook, and then I'll come back and we'll do this part here, round each half. I need to make a second one. I think I'll make this whole first one first so that I know better how to make the second half. Work second half to correspond. It wants me to work the second half before I round each half. Join these straight pieces together. So they're going to be round separate, not while they're joined. So I can go ahead and round this first one just to get an idea and then make a second half. I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, let me finish this first and we'll see what it looks like and maybe get a better idea of what it's going to be. Okay, so I was thinking it as I was getting closer to finishing this section here. I was already thinking it, but now that I can sit back and see it, it wants me to work another half, join the 2 halves, will fit size, fuller shape. I think it's a bra. I have made a bra once before. It was before I started the vintage channel, but you will find it here on the vintage channel. It was way more complicated than this, and it took me like 2 weeks to make because I was kind of new to all of this way back in them days. But I am now leaning toward it's a bra, and you'll note we didn't start decreasing until this point right here. And I think whenever it talks about join the flat edges together, I think this is the flat edge it's talking about. I think I need to make another one of these and join it right here. And then it talks about working double crochet starting right here and then working across the flat edge all the way to the other end of the loose chain. Well, the other end of the loose chain is going to be on the other side of the triangle over here, creating a band. And it wants elastic and ribbon and buttons. That's everything that the first bra I ever made asked for, minus the elastic. And they were, both of these patterns come, the bra pattern I made, or brassiere pattern I made before, was from 1944. This pattern here is from 1945. And I think it's going to be a brassiere as well. I think it's a bra. I don't know what else it could. Fuller size. I mean, fuller shape. It's really baggy right here in the middle. I think it's a bra. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make another one of these. No. First things first, let's tackle the round each half part. Starting at outer edge, work 6 double crochet and 1 single crochet in each loop, all around top edge. Okay. Including straight piece at center. So perhaps starting not here, because this is where it needs to join, but perhaps starting here and then coming to the outer piece here, all the way down. That is what I'm thinking. So let's see here. Merlin, them dogs next door, they're not calling for you. They're not. Line that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I think I need to join right here, because this is where my working 6 chains starts, is right here. So I'm going to join it right here. I think if I had to do this over again, I would avoid using the double strands. It has been the biggest frustration out of this whole pattern. It's just such a slowdown and setback to have to constantly correct my split threads. I would just use a size 30, because this is essentially the size of size 30. Now, this is a World War II British pattern, so it makes sense that they would call for sewing string in place of cotton crochet thread, because I would imagine sewing string was not only more affordable, but also way more readily available in shops in World War II England. So it definitely makes sense that the pattern wouldn't even say use a size this crochet thread, but just jump straight to the Econo suggestion. And, you know, I get it. I fully get it. I fully understand. But right now, modern day, it is the biggest frustration making this pattern. The biggest, because it just wants to split. All right, so let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Now that I've fussed about it, it's going to behave. 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm going to count that first one. 5, 6, and then a single crochet. Now you don't get in my way. Oh, them little strands are going to get in the way. I got enough to deal with. You go on. And then just jump over to the next space right here and start again. Just like that. All right, so I'm going to work this in every available chain 6 space all the way across. So I'm going to avoid working in these little holes right here, and only work in the chain 6 spaces, which are right here. So I'm not going to work in these. just the chain 6 spaces. Okay, so I'm going to work this all the way across and I'll be right back. Yeah, it's a bra. I promise you, if this isn't a bra, what else can it be? So I left these 2 edges without the little shells to sew these bits here together like that. I believe this is going to be the rib cage, or the part that goes around the rib cage, but it's not, I mean, I guess that's big enough for someone back then, but they do call for elastic. So I wonder if a piece of elastic isn't employed in the back for not only give, but to adjust the size. They also call for buttons, and I'm not quite sure where to put those, but before I'm done with this, I likely will have to look at the photo just to see how the elastic and everything goes. But this, I believe, is a bra. So now I need to sew this part together. So I'm going to do that in the back. I'm going to go ahead and work a simple crocheted seam, and I'm going to match chain for chain, stitch for stitch, and try to make it look as uniform as possible. And I chose to start on this side over here. Working with these double strands is so annoying. Oh, please don't pop off again. I feel like with every stitch I make, I'm on the brink of losing my yarn or my thread, but I chose to start over here so that I can use the backs of these shells to hide my tails. So I'm going to leave my tails behind so I can weave them underneath the shells. And see, this probably won't be the most like glamorous stitching, but we're in World War II, Britain. Nobody is lifting up my shirt anytime soon to check the stitching of my homemade bra. And if they are, they've got a proper punch to the eye coming to them. Okay, so I'm going to finish stitching this. I'm going to get out from under the camera so I can get my hands closer to my eyes so I can see a little bit better. I'll be right back. Now with these tails here on the end, as I work my double crochets across, I'm just going to go ahead and incorporate these strands here all the way across so that they weave in with my double crochets. But now here's the front, and that looks pretty darn good. I don't care what anyone says. All right, so now we're at the part of the pattern where it wants us to start on one of the free ends and work double crochet. This is going to be where the bulk of the work is going to come from. I can promise you that. 1,200 stitches, 1,200 double crochet now must be worked to complete the lower band area. And I'm really not sure where I'm meant to put the, oh, my cups are different sizes. This one here has a lot more room to it than this one. This one's a bit tighter. So you've got to have one of those set of boobs where one is way bigger than the other. I don't know if it's visible, but this one here is a lot more, there's a lot more to it. There's more, what do they call it? This one has a fuller shape. Anyway, okay, I probably am going to have to look at the picture. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep working blindly. And whenever I'm done making this band portion, I will grab the image so that we can see where the elastic is meant to go and the buttons and everything. So here we go. All right. Pull that through. And I'll make one chain with my tail included just to really lock it all in. Drop the tail back, which it's now all intertwined with itself. Come on. Telling you, working with these double strands, at least 50 times in the last 2 days, I've told myself, oh, I wish I would have just started over with a size 30 cotton thread. Because working with the double strands is a real nightmare. But at the same time, I need to get over myself, because this is what the women in World War II had to do. Maybe not the super wealthy women, but the everyday girl. Yeah, she probably had to do this just to have a good bra. Because you're not finding that stuff, all silk and everything, all good materials were used for the war effort. So I'm over here fussing, and they were probably grateful just to be able to have the thread to make something like this. So I really need to get over myself, huh? Okay, where's my next stitch now? Oh, you know what? The heck with it. I'm just going to work into the side chain. There we go. Second row will be nice and easy. I just have to have the patience to get off the chain, and the second row will be nice and easy. All right. I'm going to work this all the way down, across, and all the way across to the other end here. Turn and do it again. This will probably take me, I probably won't be done with this until tomorrow night. It's currently 10 in the morning. I'm going to work on this as much as my eyes will allow me to. Then I will have to put it away, because my eyes are not as good as they were even just 2 years ago. So I'm going to give this as much effort as I possibly can, and then pick it back up again tomorrow. So I for sure will not have this done today. I will see you tomorrow. And then we'll look at the picture and see where the elastic and everything is supposed to go. I'm a little bummed out that this one here is not as, like, what did I do different? What did I do that is so different? Oh, I don't want to flip that around and lose my hook. What did I do that's so different? They both look almost the same, so what did I do different? It's almost as if I have extra stitches on this side. I don't know. I got the 3 increases. 1, 2, 3 increases. So where did I go wrong? It's somewhere here. This just has more give. Okay, well, regardless. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. What do you think? I did the elastic a little bit different, only because my only source of elastic was from an old pair of pants that I lost some weight and I don't fit them anymore. So the back is pulled up a little high. So here's how I did the elastic, just a simple piece on the back. Here is how it looks in the photo. You can see it's multiple strands of elastic on the bottom that sort of, well, when I go sit down, we'll go over the image. I also had some spare bra straps from a strapless bra that I've had it for a few years, and I've never worn the straps on it because I needed a strapless. so I had these already. But there it is. What do we think? I mean, no shot it would ever fit me, but it does tell you how to make it bigger. So examining the photo, they used ribbons for the straps, and this is the elastic right here. And they want you to attach the elastic back here and then crisscross it, attach it here and here with buttons, and then here and here with buttons. And that's how you secure it around you completely. I didn't have any kind of elastic at all. I thought I did. I must have donated it a long time ago or something, because I have like 4 boxes, small boxes of elastic, and I can't find any of it. So I grabbed an old pair of pants that are way too big for me, and I cut a piece of elastic out of it, and it was black elastic. Here's some more of it. Adapt it for the fuller figure by working more increases under the bust and making a deeper band around the lower edge. So just working more rows of double crochet. Now, I think that this pattern, if you need to make it wider, is going to be 3 chains, the multiple of 3 plus 7. So just 3, 3, 3, 3, and then 7. And I guess measure yourself. You make 1/2 at a time, so only measure yourself 1/2. It goes completely around the side rib and then it stops. So measure yourself to that point. And if you want to, you can just put a piece of elastic on the back like I did. I wish this fit me because it looks really neat. And I think it would be neat to have, especially in the summertime. I just think that this is really neat. I love the fact that it's made with sewing thread. As much as working with 2 strands of the thread frustrated me throughout the entire process because of the splitting aspect, constantly losing one strand and having to go back and pick up the second strand, I understand it, and I actually genuinely appreciate it. I'm wondering how many women that made these bras, even well after the war, we're talking mid-50s, late 50s, very early 60s, how many of these women were still wearing and making these bras and wearing them? I would love to know. A crochet brassiere from 1945. And I think I'll make this pattern available to pick up if you want to, and the instructions. And I think that this is a wonderful piece of history if you really think about this. This is World War II crochet. That is exactly what this is we did Titanic crochet. This is World War II crochet. This is struggle crochet. And I absolutely adore the history. I really do. I love that we use sewing thread, even though, again, it was a pain in the butt. I do respect it deeply. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next mystery. Bye.